Hi, this is Misha, and we're back with an update on the CZ Bren 2S in 5.56. This is the version you saw before with the 11-inch barrel. And it has this SB folding arm brace. It's also still adjustable for length. And just for fun, put a HK modern mag in it, which fits and works well. Got a modern, this is actually an Israeli sling, but it's so light and handy it works great for this gun. And we've got a little DI optic on, a little red dot, which doesn't add a lot of weight, which is good because the idea behind this gun is to make it light. So we took this out to the range and put about 500 rounds through, actually two of these, Jay's and mine. So we had actually two of the same gun out there shooting. And also to kind of show you the first time, we've got another Bren 2S, this one with the 14-inch barrel, which is the longest they make right now in the 5.56. Same flash hider. We've got a bayonet lug here. This takes the same bayonet, which also doubles as a combat knife that the Bren 1, the 805 Bren, would use. So you can see on the Bren 1, since the bayonet lug's right under the gas block would be out here. So you can tell how much they shortened the handguard that way. Also, and I may be just delusional, it's very, very possible, but it seems like there's a little bit of a step up in the barrel here, like they just made the barrel just a little bit thicker here, as opposed to out here and as opposed to on the 11-inch, and I could see that. If you've got a bayonet lug here, you want your barrel strong so there's no torque on it, but this does feel a bit heavier than the 11, and definitely more so than the 8-inch you saw in our first couple of videos. So I will say, as you go out to these longer barrels, while it is lighter than a Bren 1 with the 14, it is you're starting to add some weight to the gun at this point. So it's one thing to consider when you're getting your Bren. This is also the mags these ship with, the standard AR-15 black. Although this is a DPH, it looks very similar to what the Czech military is issuing currently with the Bren 2A1. So yeah, so we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to talk about how this one shot briefly, and then we're going to really get into some disassembly. How this one shot? Well, guys, I hate to tell you, but it was boringly reliable. Neither Jay nor I had any issues at the range, and I put a good number of rounds through this, about 250, maybe close to 300. And Jay put a little less through his because he was sighting it in, probably about 200 to 250. He's put additional rounds through his 11-inch at his place, and I've of course shot the 8-inch you saw in our first video. So all told, we've definitely put over 500 rounds through the Bren 2. Not a huge number, I know, but we've tried several ammo types, steel and brass case, and we've tried all kinds of mag types from this standard GI, new and used, this HK, P mags, Troy, tried the Russian puff gun mag. They just work, bolt hold open, and we'll say over the 8-inch, I feel like this has less felt recoil, more so in that it doesn't have as much flip, because you have more barrel hanging out. It doesn't have the flippiness that the 8-inch did. Now, I didn't think the flip on the 8-inch was that aggressive. Jay felt it was a little more disconcerting than I did, you know, getting back on target. But either way, we feel like the 11-inch is a little more stable, which means the 14 should be really dead nuts on. This brace worked really well. It's a very tight fit on the tube. And this SB tactical adapter didn't work loose or anything. It's nice and sturdy. The whole gun just performed great. This is a very worthy successor, in our opinion, to the original 805 Bren, which is a gun anyone who's watched the channel all knows we love to talk about. We've put a lot of rounds, dare I say more than most people you see on YouTube, through the 805 Bren. Whenever Jan and I both own a gun, that means it probably sees quite a few rounds when you put our two together. It also means we really like it. But yeah, I don't really know of any complaints with the Bren 2, and this definitely, the term scar killer has been tossed around. I don't see where the Scar in 223 is better than the Bren 2. We have this wonderful non-reciprocating cocking handle, which also locks to the carrier to act as a forward assist if needed. We have easily changing barrels. It comes with very good milspec quality iron sights. We have plenty of real estate up here. These side panels are M-block compatible, as you can see on Jay's gun. He's put covers on. Or you could always replace the panels with pick rails if you so desire. It takes all AR mags. It's more or less completely ambidextrous. You have the safety here. Your bolt release is in the trigger guard here, and there's also a secondary bolt release on the side here, more AR style if you just need that. We have QD sling pockets on each side back here, as well as standard swivel here. Also a smaller swivel on the front. The pistol version takes all standard AR-15 buffer tubes, so for arm braces. There's a small storage compartment, and the back strap is interchangeable on the grip, so you can size it bigger, smaller, whatever you need. The only complaints I can see, by the way, the trigger is very nice on these for a military gun as well. The only complaints I can see, the trigger guard is fixed, it's not really replaceable, and the pistol grip is fixed to the lower. The back strap is removable, but it's fixed. So maybe some people would rather see AR-15 compatible trigger guard and grip, but that's getting pretty picky for a foreign-made military spec gun. They even went to 1/2 by 28 threads as standard for the Bren 2, so even though it comes with this really neat and interesting and effective flash hider, you can put whatever you want, or you can put a suppressor on, because this does have a 3-position gas valve with a 3rd position now for suppressed use. We have suppressed, we had adverse, and we have standard, but we never had to go to adverse even using wolf ammo. Sorry guys, I'm not going to try Tula ammo in my guns. I just don't like Tula ammo, but I bet worst case you might have to use the adverse for Tula, but based on how well it cycled the wolf even using the bolt hold open, yeah, this gun, much like the Bren 1 before it, has really greatly impressed us. Alright, so let's look at this 14. This is the newest one. It literally came in about an hour before we were leaving for the range, so I didn't have time to pack it up, and our vehicle was already full, so it'll go next time, but frankly we've shot the 8 and the 11. We know what to expect. The only difference is the longer barrel and the bayonet lug. Huzzah. So, let's talk about disassembly. I never found the 805 Bren to be difficult to disassemble, but they have listened to people, and they have made the Bren 2 even easier. So here we go. Take our mag out. Clear. It's always a good idea to have it cocked too. So that's that. To take our lower off, we just press this out. This is a captive pin like on an AR, so unlike the Bren 1, this just slides up. This is a single piece, unlike on the Bren 1, although it does have a magwell insert. This is so the same lower can be used for 5.56 and 7.6239. You just take out the insert if you want to use the CZ X39 mags, which by the way 30 rounds are now available for about $25 on their website. Also, if you get one of these inserts and you have a 7.6239 gun, It seems like AR-15 pattern X39 mags will work, because this is that. So this is our lower. We don't need to really take it apart any more than we have here. From here, to take our end plate off, we push this pin out. Again, captive. Then there's a button back here. We hold it down and this slides off. This is our end piece, or if we had a stock, it would be the stock. Now from here, we have our back. So we take our recoil guide and spring out. If I can, there we go. One thing that Tim pointed out that is very good is you need to make sure this is on the upward thing. This is to clear, it's captive. This is to clear this sling mount in the back here, which is honestly removable as well if you need to. You want to let your carrier fall out, because if you try to use the cocking handle to take it out, they're locked together and it won't come out. So it needs to be all the way forward where it's locked to the receiver, and then this just falls out the back. From here, if you want to take your cocking handle out, you just pull it out. This lets you flip it to the other side if you want. So that's not an issue. Then you can take out this end piece here. This is what it rides on. I'm actually going to stick these together now so I don't lose them later. Maybe? Yeah, let's put it together here. So that is our receiver, pretty well empty. Let's look at our bolt. One of the big complaints about the original Bren was that you couldn't just easily disassemble the bolt. Now they do ship us this nice cleaning kit that actually has multiple brushes, some giant wrenches, the full thing, so that's nice. I'm just getting this out. A bullet tip will work equally as well. I just need to punch that, just like on an AR or AR-180. We've got this cross pin here. That's it. Putting it in my pocket, guys, because we have cats. Now there's a spring-loaded, this is a firing pin safety. You need to relieve it here. You can press down on this side to let it come out, and then your firing pin and firing pin spring come out. Da, 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 da. Then we can take our cam pin out, and then our bolt is out. And you notice it's very AR-18, AR-180 like. Of course, you can further disassemble it, taking the extractor out if you need to, but we don't need to. Here's our carrier. The only thing left in it is the safety, which you can take out by driving out a pin if you need to, but we don't want to go quite that far. But we will do something that I think is pretty darn neat. The same tool that I used, it's a little torque, lets us take our barrel out. So first, we're going to take our gas system apart. Just press here, rotate this past the suppressor setting. This is our gas valve. This is the front cup here. Boop. Here is our piston with its spring. So this all fits together to make our gas piston. Basically this recoils back and is what strikes your carrier. Go ahead and take that out. Now all we have to do is loosen some screws, which I think is pretty neat. You might see me doing this because there are 9 of these total. So there's a bit to do. So now that loosens the back part here. So all we have left is the front, which is actually a different unit. Kind of interesting how this works. See, now we're getting quite loose. All we need to do from this point is get the last screws out the front. So we do that, the whole bottom rail comes off. That's how you can actually replace the panels if you want. Now we're hitting up here. What it is there's a little block here, a little collar that this is screwed into. So we just want to go ahead and undo the last two. Alrighty, that is our last side panel. And then all we have to do, I like to push this little block out first, like that. It's just tensioned in there. They're all screwed into. And there you have it. There is your barrel that goes on the Bren 2. The Bren 1 has a similar way to take the barrel out, although it is not interchangeable because of the shorter gas system, but the system is still the same. All that we have left now is our empty shell with the rail on top. Got our thing. Very light. Not stamped though, not cast. It is a modern forging type. So yeah. And of course to reassemble, we just do it in reverse. So yeah, now we're back to the 11 here that we were shooting. And as you see, the barrels come out easily. So the idea of having a pistol and doing a carbine conversion, if you find a stock, is totally doable at home. I mean, you just saw a blind guy take the barrel out. I didn't look it up. I didn't research it. I just saw the screwdriver or the torque wrench in the kit and saw these and was going to take off the panels and realized how easy this all happened. So it's not an issue the way these guns go together to swap barrels. Now the 14-inch pistol barrel with the flash hider, if you were to pin it on, is about 15.5, maybe a little more. So we're not quite at 16. We can't just straight pin the flash hider on, but I think if we put, now I did add a little crush washer to mine. For some reason these hiders are directly on the barrels when CZ ships them. I added this crush washer just because I didn't want mine to come loose. I think if we used a slightly thicker crush washer, or maybe two of them, or a thick lock washer, we can bump it out to 16 and then pin it on, making the 14-inch a legal carbine. So yeah, I'm sure you'll see a video in the future of us doing just that. I'm not going to do it until the buttstocks become available, because what's the point at this time? So yeah, the CZ Bren 2, which was released last month in a small kind of pre-release batch. These should be at SHOT Show 2019, and we should be hearing more, including on the 7.62 NATO, the 308 version. If it is as quality as the 223, the 7.62 39, I think this is a SCAR 16 killer. I think the 308 could be a SCAR 17 killer. I mean, these are not cheap right now, but they are cheaper than SCARs. So if the price comes down a bit and the quality stays high, I think CZ's got a winner. I thought the Bren, the 805 Bren was a winner. The Bren 2 really, they were listening, and that's always good to hear about a company. Well, as always, we really appreciate you tuning in. If you could, please click like and share. And if you'd really like to help support us get to the range, do click on the link and check out our Patreon page if you could. This is Misha, and we will catch you next time.